if there is no true price adjustment, it's a stale listing. And yes, listings are taking 60, 75 days, but that's with adjustments. Unless a random buyer comes into the market and has absolute pain, you're throwing a Hail Mary to try to sell after a property's on the market at a certain price for a month. It has to be adjusted 5%. The last 6 years, it didn't. I'm sharing as inventory grows and more properties come on the market. Yes, days on market are longer, but it has to be adjusted to get and meet a market, or that's why they expire. Always tread lightly, because the TCPA is real, Telephone Consumer Protection Act. It's real. So you have to tread lightly. Ask yourself, is it worth a $10,000 fine? And are you fully prepared to execute on if you have the right number and if they answer the phone? If you're speaking to a family member, I always will try to get information. I'll always try to collect as much information as I can. This happened during the buyer prospecting last week or 2 weeks ago, right? When I spoke to the daughter and the daughter was looking, and I could have pushed the daughter more. I probably should have got Brian's phone number, her dad, because I may have gotten a call, but I don't think I did. And so I don't have a direct answer for you. You're running your own business. So is it worth a $10,000 risk? That's up to you. But the key is that you try to get as much information as you can. Are they still looking to sell? Do you have, as a real estate agent, I'm trying to connect with as many folks who are looking to sell their home. And so since I have you on the phone, and I'm looking for Bobby or James or Samantha, would you be so nice to allow me to give them a call? Are you aware if their goal is to still sell? Would you know how frustrated they are, being that they were on the market and the deal and the home came off the market? Do you know their level of frustration? So I would want to gauge that and say, thank you for taking the call. I would always thank them. I would use my name. I would use their name, whoever I'm talking to, just to stay in as much rapport as possible. Humans love to hear their name. And so the more that you say their name and you say your name, you're immediately forcing, in a good way, rapport. Like I'll say my name 3, 4, 5 times when I'm in a conversation with somebody. They're not. And that's what you have to understand, that this is one of so many ways that you are going to generate leads. Just because you call someone doesn't mean that they have to talk to you. Just because you speak to someone and they're speaking to you doesn't mean that it actually is going to go somewhere. So you want to try to find an angle on how you can get what you need. But you are a stranger who randomly called and you're asking for someone who you don't know to give you a call back about something they don't really know what you're calling about. So what's the one piece that you have full control of? Yes, but in the information of what I just shared. Value. What specifically you are calling to do. If that's not crystal clear, why are they going to give a stranger's phone number to someone that they know, like, and trust? Like their like their cousin or their dad or whatever. They're not. Until you absolutely solidify, and that's extremely challenging. But all you have is value, and yet you don't even know what value it is. Like when you go to a McDonald's, how many value meals are there? Over, under 5?
I would say over, because everything's value.
Exactly. So which value are you submitting? And just because the quarter pounder with cheese is a value meal, and you want the chicken nuggets, or do you want the chicken sandwich? Or do you want the spicy chicken sandwich? So the word value in this is even loose in itself. That now you got caught on, I got to give them value. But like, what value are you actually offering? So until you have information, you can't offer value, is what I want you to hear. It's exactly what I want you to connect with. Just because you call someone doesn't mean that they're ever going to do anything for you. That's what I want you to hear. And that's the takeaway. That there's so much more levels to this. There's so much more levels to telephone prospecting than just going through the motions, than just learning what to say. It's finding a gap immediately and solving the gap, which is value. But in this case, you're speaking to a person that has no relation to the sale of the property, and you now need to create such a gap. This goes back to the buyer lead that you guys watched me have. I built rapport with her. She even texted me back. And she was like, you are awesome. So doesn't mean that he's not going to call me. It does mean that I could probably reach back out to her and have a fun conversation. Onward and upward. Keep going. Keep moving. Which is why 30, 40, 50 conversations a day until you learn and get all this down versus, all right, I spoke to 15 people today, I'm going to move on. And it's like, well, it's not going to get you to where you want to go. And you're seeing that you're having more experiences, you're having more at-bats because your amount of conversations is so much larger.
I represent a buyer.
You represent a buyer.
Had a connection through a referral to the sellers directly, rather than the agent.
You always have to go to the agent.
Always go to the
Always.
agent. That's my question.
Always.
Okay.
Always. Another way. It's an ethics thing.
Okay.
You're full of illegal stuff today.
No, well, he's not. But again, he's so curious. Yeah. No. He's so curious. And so there is the law, and then there is you're a realtor, not a realtor. You're a realtor. And the moment you play in the gray area of ethics, you'll get absolutely destroyed. Don't play in the gray area of ethics. Which, again, not that you're trying to, but no, you go to the agent because they have representation. And then they told you. And then you're like, I don't give a shit that you told me. I'm just going to keep talking to you anyway. I know, but that was your question.
Right, yeah, that
was your question.
Okay.
No, you have to now speak to their agent, even if the agent sucks. This is what it is. They made the choice. But, okay, hold on. So what did I say would happen? Talk to me. What did I say would happen? No, that's soliciting a listing.
Okay.
So in this case, what did I say? What was the word that I used?
Okay.
Ethics.
Yeah.
So there is something called the ethics board, which you never, ever, 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 ever want to be called to, because it will be multiple days of your career and you are guilty until proven innocent. It's not the court of law. And how do you prove that you're innocent?
Through your actions?
That's subjective, isn't it? How? So I love your response. I think no. So how do you prove that you're innocent? Well, hold on, no. Well, that's actions. But how do you prove that you're innocent? You have to have a track record. You have to have a paper trail on everything. Everything. The moment there's gray, you're guilty. So, CYA on everything. You play in that arena, CYA. Everything's in writing. Everything. Because you're guilty until proven innocent.